Hey guys, welcome back to the second episode of our one-shot, which is really a two-shot with Sui as GM. And a quick recap of what's been happening with our glorious band of adventurers. Brilliant group. Minds in this group is just fucking phenomenal. We've spent about an hour sitting...
It's been great.
And we spent over an hour of real life sitting in a tent in Fantasyland, eating chicken, primarily. We've negotiated our contracts. We've discovered that... we've learned from the scholars collected here that the problems in our world, the skies, the burning, the plants dying, etc., are caused by some sort of overflow of chaos coming out of the elemental plane. And we found that there's an entrance to the elemental plane, conveniently located a few days' ride from here, and that we have been now paid. Well, not all of us. Navio Star passed on his payment, deferred it to me, and we've been paid to go check out the source of this problem and perhaps report back. So that's where we're going to pick up. That's where we're ready to go. And our party is making preparations and hopefully having made preparations ready to move out. Sweet.
Verily. So while we were away, I actually looked again, and it turns out that a horse can make about 40 miles a day and 50 miles a day in really good terrain, and because Filthy's a ranger, it's only going to take them about a day and a half to get to roughly their destination. And I think where we left off is you guys were just getting ready to leave.
Yep.
Like you were...
Yeah.
So we'll pick up there. So you guys want to... You stuff took the map, and anybody else just grabbing anything else from the tent?
Yeah, a couple bits of chicken to go, since mine seems to have gone missing out of the plate.
Sure. So, you got some chicken, you can add that to your inventory.
Excellent.
You want some drumsticks, or like some wings? Or
drumsticks
maybe a thigh?
No, just drumsticks. I want to be able to eat as I move.
Right,
I'd like to bring a book. Navio likes to have a book on him at all times to look intelligent.
All right, give me a perception test.
You don't look like a reading person.
All right, you can see a bunch of books over by the scholars. Which one you want to go over there and just pick one up?
Yeah, I'd like something light but still interesting.
All right, give me roll me 1d20 then.
I don't know how to do that one.
Just in the chat, space R1d20. Just like no, I just rolled. Yeah, like that. Just like that without the period in front of it.
And it's slash.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. You got it. So you go over there and you get exactly the book you want. It's got like a title like Applied Mathematics of Arcane Technology, and like you open and flip a few pages into it, and it's actually like somebody's replaced the inside of the book with like pictures of beautiful women, and then you just smile and close the book. Both problems solved.
I was gonna say, the scholars don't say a fucking word when you take that book either. There's like no one's gonna be challenging on that one.
Yep, oh. I give him a wink and head off.
All right, none of them notice you. They're too busy, still trying to figure out what location that they're supposed to be sending you to, except for this gnome who's left the tent.
All right, so we assume we say our farewells to the diplomats, wish them well on their herding of the scholars, and then we'll saddle up and go.
Sounds good.
Okay.
It just dawned on me that those diplomats now don't have any escorts going back, and they're totally boned.
I think they're staying there. So hypothetically, there's
okay.
Probably some guards for the scholars. Or something.
Okay, that makes sense.
They will just eat all the chicken for a few days before we arrive back.
There was a lot of food there, like a ridiculous amount of food. I don't know if just feed a small army. So, damn it, I'm really bad about that.
Bad habit?
Yeah, it's a terrible habit.
All right, so onward.
Yeah, tell us about where we're going.
All right, so onward. So you guys are leaving the Great Plains here. It's a pretty flat area. You can see all sorts of crazy weather patterns going on all over the place, and you guys are heading north. It's a pretty dull ride actually until you get like 6 or 7 hours into the ride, and you guys start chafing a little bit here from being on the horses for so long.
Start chafing. That's where we're picking it up from.
Yeah, you're picking it up. You guys are just starting to chafe a little bit.
Fuck! I hate horses. I've been riding this. Oh. I'm like just like shifting in my seat, rubbing my ass. Like, fuck, this is gonna hurt tomorrow. I don't like horses. I don't like traveling. I don't like going anywhere. I just want to be home, counting my money, drinking my alcohol, eating my food, and being paid.
Didn't you say before you are doing this for your country?
So, did you mishear me? You think that was for your benefit? Did you believe that? Can I insight check him? Is he actually serious?
Yeah.
All right.
Insight check
I'm just
him.
asking because you keep changing. Like, what?
I rolled 20.
Why are you doing this?
Are you attempting?
Alright,
to...
are you serious? Were you
Wait,
being genuine or were you being sarcastic? You passed this insight check, probably.
I can do deception, like
Yep.
if I'm trying to like lie to him. Like, we can do that.
Do your deception. I guess that's fine. Let's see who's doing it to in it. All right, you get to choose. Say what you want, Mr. Fesalou. Crushed it.
Yeah, I'm seriously asking because one time you say I need some compensation, then you say okay, I'm doing this for my country. Then again you want money. So what exactly do you want?
Oh my goodness! I assumed from your companion's performance that you were in on it as well. I see. We have two leaders of two separate groups.
And right then it starts raining super heavy, like to the point where you can't hear each other at all.
So I answer him fully, but he can't hear a word.
Yeah.
Okay.
It cuts you off about halfway through.
What are you saying?
And then when you hear from the break, I'm like, I hope that explains everything, because this is the last we'll speak of this subject.
I didn't catch the first part.
I can't hear you.
And then there's like
What?
thunder going off.
All right. Do we? I assume we're gonna need to take some shelter, because I doubt horses are gonna love this.
Yeah, they're getting pretty bogged down here. They're slowing down quite a bit here.
What type of road are we traveling on too? Like if this, I mean, we're getting these serious weather shifts in this world, right? Right now, is this dangerous? Are we like potentially flash flood area? Like, is the road quickly?
You have no idea. Like you were traveling on a pretty dirt road. Like you guys are not really in the middle of anywhere, and it's getting pretty muddy. Like there's rocks and stuff in it because it's a dirt road. So
Can I
relatively
see
flat
there
though,
is
right?
like any cave nearby? Or is it just like forest, or what is around us at the moment?
Can I jump up a tree and look?
you can all do everything. There's it's pretty flat to your south, the direction that you guys came from, and about maybe 5-minute ride to the north. There's like you can see the tree line of the forest on the left starting to come into the sight. And there's like a big forest that goes on the northern side of this continent for quite a ways.
And how long have we been traveling roughly? Has it been
7 hours.
like
You said.
Yeah, like 7-8 hours ish.
cool? So roughly halfway.
Yeah.
So time to camp somewhere and then continue on in the morning.
Cool, yeah. I don't like the thunderstorm. It's not safe around trees. So I'm not sure where exactly we should camp.
Remind me, you're a powerful sorcerer, right?
Yes.
Anyways, unrelated question. Sorry, didn't mean to derail. Let's find somewhere to set up camp. You don't want near trees, though. I'm just a bit worried about... Alright, fine. You think just right here, then?
Trees are fine.
Were you ever hit by
You'll
lightning?
protect us from trees?
Yes.
Okay.
I will protect from the lightning trees.
Awesome. Alright. Well, I'm going to suggest just a little bit out of the rain anyways. There's some decent tree coverage there. We're going to get a little bit less of the wind and water doing that, and we can probably set up just something. I think the horses are a little bit spooked by this too. Mine's fighting me a lot right now. It'd kind of be good to get them settled down and taken care of a little bit. So let's move up into towards the woods, and I point.
Sounds good.
All right, we'll head up that
Make
way.
camp
Sui.
there.
What?
We'll head up towards the woods
All right.
to make camp.
You guys head up towards the wood to make camp. I want all of you to roll me perception tests.
Okay.
Do-do-do-do.
Somewhere I have that, maybe. Yes. Oh, and I get.
All right.
Easy.
They look like very, very average-looking trees, mostly oak and birch. And Goran sees a couple of apple trees. Very nice.
I'll say to Fezalou, I'll say, could you maybe gather some apples for the horses? Maybe help calm them down. I'll help set up camp here. And I yell, oh shit, Navio, give me a hand with the tent. And I start setting up our 2-person tent, like really a 2-person tent, not like, you know, the ones that are super snug because it says 2-person and it really is about 1 person. We have one of those.
Like a luxury tent.
No, the opposite. Like
the
super
opposite.
Spartan, like tiny little tent that says it's 2-person on the fucking tag, but you couldn't fit 2 people in there if you tried.
Yeah.
That's what we sleep in.
Like you only need 1 blanket, so
Yeah.
the 2-person tent.
Yeah.
Yep.
Gotcha.
That's
I
what
gotcha.
Navio and I share when we're on the road. So
It's very good. Very good. Very good.
Well, Fessil will just roll his eyes. He's like not happy to do that, but I will use my mage hand to just
Fessil,
pick some
team
apples
player.
for the horses.
All right. So Mage Hand is feeding horses apples.
Yep.
All right. It's good. They're not really confused by the blue spectral hand picking up apples because they don't care. They're hungry. They want apples. Just going. They're these horses. These 4 horses just going to town.
They are terrified of the weather, so it's like one more thing doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's true. So what are you doing at this time here at Ulasaf?
Just setting up camp. Nothing
Setting up
fancy.
camp.
Yep.
All right, excellent. So you guys managed to get camp set up nice and good. Get a campfire going. It's not huge. It's good though. It's a little warm, nice and orange.
all right, I'll spend just a few minutes as that's happening. I just want to check the local area around us. I know it's raining, so it's going to obscure some of this, but I just want to look for any of the normal signs of the animals that are likely to be in this region. I've traveled this region before. I'll have some sense of it, but I wouldn't mind just having a look if I can notice anything nearby. Are we in like a territory of like some bear or something like that?
Give me a survival test.
It's a good one. When it goes red like that in Roll20, that means you rolled a critical fail, which is the lowest possible roll you can get in the dice. So when it's red, it's generally positive.
Yeah, super positive. So
These exciting things are about to occur.
you start looking around and you can't really see a whole lot. It's still, you know, like it's raining, and even through the trees, there's a pretty decent amount of water leaking down in here. So you're like walking around, looking in the mix of mud and leaves and branches, and there's a lot of branches because of how hard the wind has been blowing on and off for the last few weeks, and the torrential rains and the occasional snowing and so on and so forth.
And
And
I spot this super fucking interesting track. I'm like, oh my god,
Yeah,
I know exactly what that is. And as I'm bending over, I face plant into it and totally wipe out the track with my face. Stand up, I'm like, no one saw that.
yeah, you do that, and then I need you to give me a perception test.
Should I have disadvantage because I'm literally face covered in
Yeah.
mud right now?
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
let's do that.
Good
Can
guy,
I-
Filthy. Always follow the rules.
Can I perception test to see if I saw him do that?
Yes.
All right. Nice.
So, Navio, you saw him. He's maybe like
Yeah,
20
yeah, I
like maybe-
totally saw him.
he's like maybe 20, 25 feet into the woods there, and
I roll my eyes.
you
I
see
get
this-
out. I get out like the towel that we share while we're on the road, and like make sure it's ready to wipe his face off with.
You share a towel?
Yes, we do. We travel a lot together. It saves space to bring 1 towel instead of 2, Ricky. So I make my perception test. What do I notice or not notice, or what happens?
All right, so you notice that in the distance you catch like another flicker of light, maybe like 100 feet into the woods, even through your muddy face.
All right. Do I have any sense of what that is? Does the light look like lightning? Does it look like firelight being reflected through trees or coming through trees? Does it look like some sort of magical light?
It doesn't look like magic. It looks like natural light that would be coming off of like a fire or a natural light source like that, like oil lamp or so on and so forth, or maybe like a torch or some sort of fire, though. Yes, natural light.
All right. I will continue to. I'm kind of staring into the rain to get water on my face, kind of get the mud off as I come in. I come back into the camp, and I'm kind of like wiping with my shirt as I approach our tent. And I say, Navio, I think I've seen there's maybe another fire out there. Could be other travelers on the road. This area is not a particularly safe area, if I remember correctly. This is the last time I've been here. So some of us go have a look to see who we might be sharing these woods with tonight.
So I've just seen him faceplant, and I roll my eyes and hand him the towel and say, "Look, you've been drinking. It's been a long day. Let's get some rest."
I say, "You're ready for bed then?"
Yeah.
Well, in that case, maybe I should share with the others just in case. But I hear you. Who wants to be fucking trudging around the forest this late at night? And I'll wipe my face with towel. Thank you. I was checking out those tracks and I got really close. And anyways, thank you. And I clean my face and hand him the towel again, and then I'll head over to Ulisif and Fezalou, and I'll say, it seems we're sharing the forest with someone else tonight. There's a campfire not far in the distance. I haven't had a chance yet to check it out, but I thought I would at least warn you guys.
Can you tell if it's coming towards us?
The campfire?
Well, anyone from the campfire?
I just noticed the campfire. Don't even know who's there yet. I don't think the campfire is sneaking up on us, if that's what you're asking.
Okay, well, if they're just hanging out there and we're just hanging out here,
don't
I
know
see
who they are, though.
Problem.
Could be another party. This area is not a particularly safe area. This is literally neutral ground between territories. It's not well patrolled. It's not in the confines of the control of someone else's army. This is a neutral and dangerous area. I would feel a little safer if we knew kind of who it was.
How far was it?
Tough to say in the forest with the rain like this. The light refracts kind of weirdly. I think I could, hour travel, find it probably.
So either we all go there, or a few of us go there, or none of us go there.
Or perhaps we just take precautions tonight in terms of being wary of something approaching from there, and maybe try to, we could, we have a nice warm fire here. It's putting out a lot of light. We could dim it a little bit, kind of let it die down a little bit so it's not quite as transparent where we are. But it might be too late. If they had watchers out, I saw theirs, they could see ours. We could try the opposite. We could try to scare them off with our size by making it larger, perhaps.
Well, we don't know anything about them, and we have a rather, I suppose, important mission to do, so maybe we just keep watch out tonight. How about that?
All right. Well, it's been a long day, and, Navio's got the tent all warm. Maybe you could take first watch?
How about I'll take the first half of the night, as long as one of you covers the second half.
You can, yeah. Come wake me up when you're ready to be off, and I'll take second half. Feel like, or part of the second half, anyways.
Okay, we'll second nods.
Sounds good.
All right, I want to get out of this rain. I'm gonna get into the tent.
Okay, so we're just long resting now at this point?
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Okay.
Long rest.
If this is gonna be considered long rest, I want to cast Mage Armor on myself.
I'm
Sounds
chatting with
To have
my
this
tent mate
up.
before we sleep.
For my watch.
Yep.
I'm reading my book, but I'll listen, I guess.
What are you reading?
You wouldn't understand.
He doesn't read the words, he just has
Give me
some
a perception
pictures.
test, Filthy.
All right. I'll make a perception test.
You can see what it says on the cover: applied mathematics, arcane physics, or something like that. I don't remember what I said the first time.
You have
Arcane
hidden depths, my
engineering.
friend. Hidden depths. I would never have thought of this of you. Well, don't stay up too late, and then I'll close my eyes and kind of cuddle up against him.
And then suddenly Navio takes the book and tilts it sideways as if he's looking at
New page picture.
Yeah, it's very good. Perfectly classy. All right, give me a perception check, Mr. Yusuf, for your first watch.
Okay. I was planning on taking two just because I'm a drow and I don't need to sleep much.
Yeah, I mean, like you're. Yeah,
Okay.
do one. We'll do one for the first 4, and then one for the second 4.
Okay.
The first 4, you just see weather going crazy, nothing all that distinct, no like noise that would sound like any sort of critters or anything like that. Nope.
Okay.
Second watch, go ahead and throw me a
Okay.
note.
I'll do it again.
All right, so in the distance with your elf ears, you can hear something trudging around, maybe 150, 200 feet into the woods, the opposite direction from the direction that Gorn pointed out the fire to you earlier. So it's like on the opposite side of the camp, not the direction that the fire was in.
Okay, then just listen to hear if it comes closer, and otherwise don't do anything.
Okay. And your time passes without an issue.
Okay, cool. Then I'll go. It's still raining at this point, right? Like the weather's still just as awful.
Yeah, it's still raining. It's actually getting it's actually dropping in temperature now by about 10, 15 degrees. It's going from like maybe
Right.
like 75 to about 60.
Okay, well then Ulisef will go to the elf and human's tiny tent and unzip it without saying anything.
I want both of them to roll me perception tests with disadvantage because they are asleep. And I want you to roll me a sleight of hand,
Ooh,
Mr. Ulisef.
what the heck is sleight of hand? Just okay, never mind.
All right, so neither of them hear you open it.
Rise and shine.
Do we hear that?
That's it.
Roll me perception tests.
Again at disadvantage?
Yeah, you're asleep. You were whispering. I heard it. No, neither of you hear him the first time he says that.
Wake up, folks.
All right, you both hear that and wake up.
Alright. I immediately try to roll when I hear this. I try to roll out of danger's way, and I roll into the side of the tent.
All right, give me a strength saving throw.
Strength saving throw. This would be good. Alright. No, that's not
All right.
bad.
No, it's really good. It's a good roll. It's what I wanted. So you're gonna roll into the side of the tent, and you're just gonna the whole tent is gonna unstake from the opposite side and gonna like flip one quadrant over into the ground, and Mr. Navio is just gonna like fall right on top of you, and then the book is gonna like fly up in the air and fall on his face.
I mean, he's a parkour expert. Is he just gonna
I am.
take that lying down?
Yeah,
And I'm very used to unusual things happening just after I've fallen asleep. So
He's gonna take it lying down.
Oh, you can't like make an amazing dexterity saving throw to like catch the book and.
Yeah, you can. If you want to try to catch the book, you can try to make a dex saving throw. It's fine.
On specific page.
I'm into it.
no, I'm fine with the book, but I want to like do a somersault as I come down. Can I do an acrobatics?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
All right. So there's not a whole lot of room in here. So instead of falling on Gorn, you do this acrobatics test. You do like a somersault between his legs as he's tumbling, and you like sit up on the opposite side of the tent, like the far side from where the door is, and you just like have the book in your hand instead of it falling on your face. Like you wake up and you just like have it in your hand.
I never know why people say we need a bigger tent. This tent is huge. Look how far away you are. You just did a fucking somersault in here. And I say, I'll take first watch. You go back to sleep. And I'll get out into the rain.
All right, sounds good.
And as
You go back
I pass Ulisef, I'll shoulder him real hard into his shoulder and say, maybe there's a gentler way you could wake us up next time.
Yeah, maybe.
And then I'll take my watch.
All right, you go to sleep, Yusuf, or your meditation, or whatever the drow equivalent is of sleep.
Yep.
All right, sweet. And roll me a perception test, Mr. Goran.
Okay.
All right, so you can hear the same sorts of noises that I described to Mr. Ulisef from the past watch, but they're only about 50 feet away in that direction rather than about 200.
From my
It's a lot of clumping.
experience in the woods, do I recognize this as the sound of an animal that I'd be familiar with?
On my nature test.
Okay.
Yes. It sounds like a creature with a number of legs rooting around for something to eat.
Okay. And in general, are this type of creature dangerous, or can I leave it alone?
I mean, it's not dangerous to you. Like you'd kick the shit out of it. It's just like some little beast looking for some food. Some like medium-sized creature.
It happens to me.
Damn it! I need to like bite my hand off. Yeah, it's like a medium-sized creature. Based on like the size of what you're hearing and like how skilled you are, you don't assume that it's like any sort of a real major threat to you based on like the size.
I'll assign like a portion of my mind to keep track of that sound, but I don't want to focus too heavily on that because I don't want to be surprised by something else. So I'll just keep my watch.
All right. So you staying up for the second watch period?
I'm human. I'm not going to do that. I need a full sleep. So after my 2 hours, I'll wake Navio.
All right. Sounds good.
I'll wake Navio, and I'll wake him much more gently. And I'll wake him first by trying to steal his book. Let's see if he notices.
Give me you need to give me a sleight of hand, and he needs to give me a perception. It's a terrible sleight of hand, and he's perfect perception. So like as you're... you know what? Navio, you want to describe this? This is good.
I reach for the book as you're sleeping.
Yeah.
You have the book over your eyes, or how do you sleep with the book?
So I've known Goran for 40 years now, and for all this time I've never seen him with a woman. And I know that he's vaguely interested. I know that he has some inkling of what mysteries they might hold, but he's never had any success. And I know that he's interested. I know that he knows that something's up with this book, but he's not quite ready for it yet. Another 100 years or so.
After he's been dead for 100 years?
Human,
no,
100 years.
He's not intelligent, and he's an elf, so he probably just thinks that's reasonable. No. That's probably for him.
That's true. That
was
probably
an honest internal
We are
dialogue.
too young for this.
That's right. So, all right. So, what do you do as I reach for it?
I just like sort of knowingly smile at you, and as your hand reaches for it, it's always an inch away until you realize my eyes are open.
That's good.
That book. There's something about it. I'll find this out. Your watch.
All right.
All right. Perfect. So you go out there, sit down next to the fire, put some wood on there probably, and then roll me a perception test. What?
You don't sit staring into the fire when you're on watch?
No, but you need to keep the fire stoked so it doesn't go out.
All right.
It's pretty basic fire maintenance 101.
Okay.
Roll me a perception test.
He did.
Oh, I did.
Mr.
Yeah.
Navio. Oh, you did. I didn't see it. All right, so you hear the same sort of noises that Mr.
I told him about that when I came in, just like a brief, like.
You heard the same sort of like medium-sized animal noises outside camp, maybe 30, 50 feet or so, about the same distance that Mr. Goran said that he had heard them.
All right. I'm cool with it.
All right, cool. So morning comes, no problems.
Right.
Although it's still kind of hazy. It doesn't really look like the amount of light in the air has changed all that much. But
horses survive the night.
Yes. Okay. All your horses are good.
All right, I'll
They're
get
all
up.
hitched up to the tree. None of them are freaking out too bad, except for the fact that it's like thunder and lightning or whatever. They're a little shaky, but they're not like going crazy or anything.
Right.
So the rain is still same? Like it's still heavy raining?
Yes.
Okay.
Big time.
Still raining. All right, we got a lot of ground to cover,
Mm-hmm.
and it's shitty weather. Let's get out of here. You need to do anything else around this area?
Nope. Just pack up camp and head up north.
What about the bonfire that you saw earlier?
Didn't bother us. Let's not bother them.
Fine,
Alright,
mate.
so
Let's continue.
We're on a mission to save the world.
all right, so you guys pack up your stuff. You guys mount back up on your horses. Get back. Are you guys gonna go through the woods? Or are you gonna get back out on the road?
Back to the road.
Back on the road, for
So
sure.
you guys get back out onto the road maybe like 15, 20 minutes after y'all get up or so. You start heading down the road, and you can see someone else on the road coming in your direction in like a horse-drawn carriage, and then he's like some medium-build, human-looking guy, and like as you guys get close to him and approach him, he just kind of like looks at you, and you guys stare back, and he's got like a bunch of pigs in the back of his car, like probably like a dozen pigs or so.
Or cart?
Like not like a fancy carriage. I mean carriage as in like a cart. Yes.
Okay, it's a cart with pigs. All right. So it's not a carriage with pigs, which is something entirely different. All right,
No, it's not. It's not like a rich person carriage where the pigs are wearing top hats and smoking cigars. No.
Just trying to figure out the world you're building for me, Sui.
That's what I was picturing also, actually. So.
All right, that's fair. When I used the term carriage, I meant like the most general sense of the word.
Right.
And they're coming from the north, right? So we're
they're coming from the opposite direction. And as he gets closer, he's got all these pigs kind of in the back squealing and stuff. So you guys like give him a look, and he looks back at you. And he just says, "The fuck are you looking at?" As he like goes by.
I don't respond at all. All
right.
And after we pass a little bit, I say, "Navio, charming people up here. Glad we left home."
Ulisef stops for a moment and thinks to himself, considering
Finger of death? No
an
finger of
option,
death. Finger of death.
but decides to continue on.
All right, so you guys continue on, and I want you all to roll me a perception test.
All four of us?
Yes. All right, so Mr. Gorin can see that in the distance, the ground, he's noticing a slight little slope down, and in the distance, he can just faintly catch the glimmer of like a actual body of water, like running water on the surface of the land or in the crevice of the creek. He can't really tell quite yet from the angle that he's at, but he can see a body of water here after you guys have been riding for several hours at this point. Again, hard to keep track of time when
it's pouring rain
Yeah.
and the sky's
when
all
it's
fucked up
when it's pouring rain.
When you're a
it's miserable
400-year-old
and-
wood elf ranger.
Yeah.
Almost impossible to know what time of day it is or how to
Yeah.
tie your shoes.
Pretty much. So it's been a while. Like you guys are wet, real wet. The wet nest.
So continue on.
All right, so push forward, and you get to this body of water, this river, and the road kind of like cuts off where the road was going because it was straight for a long time, and the road kind of like curves and bends and goes with the river here. And as you start riding, like a little ways up, you can see that there's like a other side to the river. I don't know why I just said that. And then on the other side of the river, there's like you can tell that the elevation is slanting downward because you can like see some of the overspill of the river because of how much it's been raining, like kind of splashing down off that side a little bit once in a while at certain points, like divots in the river or whatever, because it looks like it's pretty rough right now.
So the road doesn't lead to a bridge that goes over the river?
No, it's running parallel to the river right now.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
And on the other side of the river, we see, a raise? I wasn't clear on what we saw on the other side of the river.
Oh yeah, I don't need to do this with my hands. There's this whole crazy thing called magic marker.
Magic marker.
So this is the road right here, the little like jaggedy lightning line, and here's the river.
Okay.
And then it's like kind of like after a little ways, like there's like some divots where there's like some spill off here, and it's going downhill this direction.
Okay, I see.
Which should
Got it.
Yeah.
The river's overflowing down ways.
Yeah, not
Okay.
not like super bad, but it's like you can tell it's doing it a little bit. Yeah.
Okay.
So there's a river like going parallel to like some kind of like ravine. Like I'm just picturing like the Grand Canyon with a river just like going right alongside, way up top.
Yeah, well, not like immediately next to it. The ravine was supposed to have been like a mile out or something like that.
Gotcha. Okay.
But you can tell that there's like a downhill slope here. Like there's like a lip to the river, and then it kind of like slopes downhill, and there's like a bunch of rocks and stuff at the top
Gotcha.
of the river.
So it's kind of assumed that if we just continue on, that at some point this ravine and the river will kind of split up, and where it splits up is where we're going to run into this like portal thing, right?
Yeah, something
Okay.
like that. It's supposed to be somewhere near the point where like these two kind of break apart.
All right.
Got it.
So we will
By the
continue
description, you can get
onwards.
Yes.
As we get
All right.
close, I feel like my horse has plenty of energy for this time of the day. Like maybe I had one too many apples, so I give it a little bit of run for this, a little bit of a trot.
All
for
right.
this.
It's good. So as you guys start picking up the pace a little bit, like looking either for what it is you're looking for, this like any sign of this waygate, or like a way to get over this river in between, to start looking more carefully to like see if you can find this. The rain kind of like lightens up quite a bit for I don't know, maybe 20 minutes or so, and then as you like come over the crest of the horizon, you can see like the faint outline of a stone bridge up here going over this river. Looks like it's in halfway decent shape for how bad the weather's been, and the fact that it's a bridge over a river in a fairly unpopulated region
Okay.
of the countryside.
Cool. Carry on. Cross the river.
All right, crossing the bridge, nice and easy. Clop, clop, clop. No bricks fall out of the bridge. None of you plummet to your deaths. No problem there. You get across the bridge, and then you can see like the maybe like like 30 or 40 feet out, it starts dipping down and divoting downhill a little bit.
Okay.
So at this point, what would you guys like to do? I assume like spread out, like actively start looking for this thing, right?
So this is the area. This is where we are expecting to find these waystones.
Yeah, somewhere in like this 1-2 square mile area, somewhere around here. Yeah, there's supposed to be some sort of like sign for a waystone, and you're not sure like when it's been used or anything, but you figure that it will probably be fairly distinct looking, or you'll be able to like detect the presence of magic leaking through, or there'll be some.
We don't have a
sort
description of this, right? We just were told we'll detect magic when we're out here.
Yeah, that is what you were told.
I'll talk to the party and I'll say, who here can actually detect magic? Do both the sorcerers just shake their heads?
Navio like
Guys, all right, hold on.
Navio pretends that he can, but it's obvious that he actually can't.
All right.
I can feel it with my guts.
Somehow I
actually
get the
do
feeling that
have
we
detect
won't.
magic.
Do you?
Yeah.
What from?
Ranger.
Oh,
Right.
right. Okay.
So,
Ranger has that?
Are you going to do
roll
advanced
my
then?
eyes.
Yes.
You two fucking sorcerers can't do this? Alright, fine.
That's not my expertise.
I'll drop to my seated position and meditate long enough to cast detect magic.
All right, you want to throw up the spell card for it?
I didn't make a spell card for it, so
You lazy boy.
I think
All right, hold on.
That, ready? It's not even. I didn't even tell them details.
Yeah,
Detect
that does. Yeah, that's not helpful. Here, hold on. I have.
I can link it though. It's in the thing over here. Hold on.
I've got a spell card thing. I can just pull it up real quick.
Yeah.
Like a thing online. Let me take a look here.
It's within 30 feet of me.
Okay.
It's 10 minutes, 30 feet of me, and it's
I
blocked
assume you're
by
casting-
a foot of stone, an inch of common metal, a thin sheet of lead, or 3 feet of wood or dirt.
Okay, so you don't detect the source of the magic, but you can definitely detect that there is magic in the area, and it's more powerful like to the west. Like it feels like the direction that it's being pulled from is to the west.
That way.
Oh,
And I point west.
That's useful, actually.
Okay. I'll head west with them. This only lasts for 10 minutes. This is not a long thing. Do I get a sense of how far? I mean, it's only 30 foot, so it must be freaking close if I'm detecting it at all, I guess.
Or it's giving off a really powerful
Good point.
set of magic, and you're homing in on it kind of like a magnet does with
Yep.
magnetism.
Well, onward then, tracker extraordinaire.
All right. And I'll keep going.
Alright, so you guys continue on west for another 30
And I would
feet or
say
so.
I'm probably fairly blind to mundane stimuli right now. This is like an overpowering magic glow, and it's fucking with my regular mundane senses. So if we're walking into, like, I can't see tracks or anything right now, in my opinion.
I gotcha.
Okay.
I gotcha.
Cool.
Alright, so you guys start walking, and you do a few, like you walk like 30, 40 feet, then you like make a couple little adjustments to like kind of feel where the I don't want to use the term radiation because that's not really appropriate, but like you can kind of feel the direction that the magic is coming, like the way that it's flowing, and you make a few adjustments and turns here and there, and you keep walking, and as you're walking, and you get about like 200 feet down into this divot. Do you guys bring your horses with you? Are you guys still on your horses, or
We bring them with
Are
us.
you-
I think we're walking them probably.
you're walking them?
It's like,
All right, that's fair. I just thought I'd check. I want you to give me perception tests here, and I need to do perception tests for your horses. Your horses are so good.
What do they roll?
They got 3 20s and a 17.
All right. We have really fucking perceptive horses. Feed them apple a day, right? So
So, what did you guys get? You got a 22. Navi, you got an 18. Ulisef got a 6, and Fellas has got an 11. All right, so
Friends would be at disadvantage, right?
it's not really ranking too hard. Yeah, Gorn would be at
okay, I can
disadvantage
roll again.
because you are focusing on that magic. It doesn't matter though because you rolled super well. So, Gorn manages to notice this, but it's not really him noticing it as much as he's noticing the horses notice it. He can kind of like notice the horses starting to like neigh and freak out a little bit, and he like starts scanning.
I first look to Nabio to see if he's fucking with the horses again, which he does all the time when we travel together. And I don't see anything there. So then I look to what else could be fucking with the horses. What do I see?
You start like scanning the grass here, and you like can kind of see like a little like wave of the grass going back and forth, and the horses are kind of like neighing a little bit, and you like elbow Navio when he starts scanning the grass too, and you're like looking closer, and you can like see a pretty decently sized rat, like maybe like 5-6 inches scurrying on the ground. The horses are not pleased with this rat. They're not happy.
Do you just want to shoot that so the horses don't spook as I'm looking for this gate?
Can I eat it?
You gotta kill it first. Only one way to find out. Kill it first, then you can try eating.
I think it will die while I'm eating it.
Good point.
okay,
Get your hands on
I
it.
want
Good
to
point.
cast Firebolt on the rat.
We haven't told you about the rat.
All right.
No, you didn't tell me.
We're
I'll
in
tell you
each
about
side.
I nudge
talking
up to
only
my
to-
wizard friend
Okay.
and I say, hey, there's a tasty looking rat there. Could use some cooking.
Go ahead, fellas here.
That's you, Ricky. I think he's talking to.
Of course. Yeah, I'm just looking for it. Of course, I can barbecue it for you. Does that hit?
I don't know what a rat's AC is, but
It's
I've got to
below
assume
19. Yeah.
I've got to assume it's way below 19. So yeah, you hit this rat and it lets out like a horrible like little death shriek, like.
Dinner.
Yeah, and it keels over, and the horse is just kind of like reel back for a second when this huge fire bolt flies out of it. Whatever, I assume like your hand, you like extend your hand.
Yeah, that would be from my hand, like.
Yeah, so the horses like reel back for a second because they're like, "What the fuck is going on with this shit?" Because they're not.
I kind of imagine like with detect magic, this is like night vision goggles, and someone just lit a fucking lamp right behind my head with this firebolt behind me. So
yeah, it is.
I turn around and I'm like, "Do you fucking mind? I'm trying to find an ancient artifact, probably buried in the ground, of which may or may not save the fate of the world." And you're firing off firebolts behind me at rats?
I offer Goran one of the legs.
So you go pick up this rat.
I'm
And
slightly
you offer
modified,
Gordon
but I'm not eating.
Burning.
I say no, Navia. You have seconds. It's okay.
Your friend over here asked me.
That poor rat. All right, well, so let's move right along then. Navio's chewing down on some rat, and Mr. Goran manages to figure out what's going on. You guys are actually getting fairly close to the. You guys walk for probably like 15 more minutes. You guys are getting fairly close to where you assume this ravine is. The land is getting like slightly more rocky and less grassy as you like move along, and you can kind of tell that like the ground is dipping down a little bit even further, and like off to your sides you can see like a few little streams of water running downhill from the rain that was earlier that like formed some puddles and some little plateaus in the downward de-elevation.
Okay.
Incline, that's the word I was looking for.
Okay.
So once you get a little ways down, like you get to a point where you like walk over and then you like have to spin around because it feels like it's coming from the other direction. You like do that a couple times and you're like it should be, like you assume it should be like roughly right here.
I assume it's buried. My assumption is that over time something like this would probably be like dirt's going to accumulate, ground's going to grow. It's going to, as the topography changes, a fixed structure is not going to necessarily be on the surface all the time. So I assume it's beneath me. As I look down, do I get a sense of that?
Yeah.
All right.
You would say that makes the most sense.
I think it's here. I say to everyone, maybe we dig here, see if we can come up with something. I don't know the size or shape of this, but this is putting out some serious magic.
Oh, lovely. Did someone bring a shovel?
I've got a shovel. I pull out my shovel from my ranger's pack. This is my poop shovel. So use it sparingly. It's not a big shovel, but it's the only one I have. And I hand it to you, Ulysses.
I'm slightly tempted to see if I can just cast Disintegrate at the ground.
Ground?
It's your life. And it's not whatever. Do what you want. Do what you got to do. If
Balls
you're
in
all
your
about
court,
that,
Ulysses.
yeah, if you're all about that life, let me know. Let me know what you're doing. What's the plan, Jan?
Disintegrate the 10-foot cube portion. No, that's not enough. Fine, Ulisef will actually just take the shovel and dig some.
Excellent. All right, so he starts digging. What are the rest of you guys doing at this time?
I will try to convince Navio that rat, even cooked rat, is probably not real good for him, and he should be careful.
But it was cooked.
I will eat Ulysses. Because I'm curious about this. I want to know more.
All right, so you guys dig.
Not for that long, though.
For 30 minutes you dig, and you've got a hole.
Not a big hole. This is not a shovel. This is a spade.
Yeah, it's like a poop shovel.
Yeah.
Like you guys 30 minutes of digging with a poop shovel has probably got you like 5 feet into the ground, maybe, and like
It's not a very big hole,
a
if that's
small
the case.
So
radius.
Goran keeps like trying to convince me that the rat is unhealthy, and I'm just like starting to sort of get tired. So I decide to lean on my full-sized shovel that I carry with me at all times.
All right, we should. I notice, but I don't say anything. Does anyone else
Can I
notice?
perception check this?
Yeah.
Perception check. You guys,
I would also
you guys
to
give me
perception check
perception
that.
checks. Yeah.
They're busy though,
Both of you.
Sui. Surely it's a disadvantage. They're very busy. They're shoveling.
Get
They're
outta here.
They're
Get
5
outta
foot deep
here.
with the poop shovel. You think they're looking around? They're head in the hole.
They don't want to be doing it though.
Yeah, exactly.
You both notice that he's leaning on a large shovel, and you don't know how long he's been doing this.
Okay,
or how
that-
long he's had it, but
fine.
you suddenly see it.
Okay, that's fine. Ulicephal just stops, gets out of the hole, just tosses the shovel aside some and says, "Okay, I think it's you guys' turn," and then walks away from the hole. That's it.
After you throw it away, I want to cast Mage Hand to move the spade back to Gorin. Like, your turn.
I dodge it as it comes towards me, and I say, "Wash your hands after touching that. You don't know where that's been." And then I go pick up some leaves to put it back in my pack.
All right, what do you guys want to do now?
I'll dig.
All right,
I've grown
Digging.
tired of this talk.
digging with a real shovel.
Yep.
Very good, very good. So you start digging just normally, digging and digging and digging. You dig for. How are you digging? Are you digging straight down? Or are you trying to like make a decent sized hole to stand in, or what?
I will
So
every
I
so
like-
often cast Detect Magic and try to get a better sense to help guide him.
That sounds good to me.
All right, that works. So you start digging in roughly
Also,
in.
There's like the pile of the dirt that the wizards managed to shovel in half an hour, and I'm making a pile right next to it, and it's noticeably larger. Like straight
Yeah.
away.
Well, yeah, you're using a shovel that's probably like 3 times as
Yeah,
big.
and I'm looking at how much larger it is fairly regularly.
Do you look from the pile to them, or are you just like internally like pleased? Are you-
No, just internally.
Okay.
That's good. So it takes about 35 minutes before you hear your shovel with a nice clank, like it's striking against like rock.
I yell out surprisedly.
What do you yell? All right, so he sounds like
I
he's
say-
having a stroke.
I say that rat finally doing his thing, isn't it? That indigestion's a bitch. Do you need the poop shovel?
You have the poop shovel.
I hand you the poop shovel.
All right. I think I tell the wizards that I think I found something and head off into the woods a wee way.
Have you left your shovel there?
Yeah, my shovel's still there.
My detect magic. What happens when I look at this stone he's hit with my detect magic active?
It seems like it's exuding, or it is the source of this magic. You're not sure how large the stone is, but like you can see part of the top of it, and like as you wipe away the dirt or whatever, kick it away with your feet. Because I assume you're not going to bend over and use your hand. No way. So, but yeah, you can tell that like this is definitely like the source of whatever magic it is you're tracking there.
I climb out from the hole and I'll say, and brush myself off of it and say, "That's definitely it. I don't know what to do with it. It's a rock. It's magical. It's about the extent of what I can tell you about it. Maybe one of you guys has a little bit more expertise."
Yeah, I can check it out.
All right.
I want to examine. Like, do I need to dig more around it, or can I like investigate what is it?
You can see maybe like a square foot or so of the top of it. You're not sure how large this stone actually is.
This is about, you said about 5 foot down.
Yeah, about 5 feet down.
Okay, it's gonna be a real bitch to like. If that's a big structure, it's gonna take forever to get that.
That's why I'm asking, like, if I need to dig around, like to see the whole thing.
Can we get a sense from just the part that's revealed if this is a part of a larger structure or a just kind of smaller stone? What can we get any?
Yeah. Well, when when Philosophe gets down, he actually wants to inspect it, so he actually takes the time to crouch down and try to get a close look at this thing. He runs his hand over it, brushes the dirt out of the way.
Maybe I can see some runes or something on it. I don't know.
Yeah, it's not like a huge surface area that you can see, but you run your hand over the surface of the stone, and you can manage to feel a distinct the distinct edge here on the corner, and you manage to get around and get around one side of it a little bit, and then on the other side you can just kind of feel it cutting off this way, although there is still a little bit of dirt over it that way. So based on assuming that it's somewhat rectangular, you have three edges of the dimensions of it. So you've got one of the corners of the thing at the very least, and if it's uniform, it's probably not super huge. You could probably pull it out. It's maybe 150 pounds, 200 pounds, which isn't all that large considering how heavy rocks generally are.
250-pound rock in there, huh? I think sorcerers are really what we should use to move that. I sit back and wait.
I would like to dig around the other parts of this stone object.
All right, awesome. So you get down there with the shovel, and you start going specifically along the edge of it, and digging it out. And it does kind of conform to what you initially suspected. It seems to be rectangular, and as you dig out more of the dirt and you brush all of it off, you can see some simple runes on the top of it, and they're not insanely hard to figure out. There's a fire symbol and some lines in a straight air, just some straight lines on it, and then
I'm getting
a drop
right now.
Yeah, it's
okay.
Yeah, you got it. That's pretty much it. You can see three distinct elemental symbols so far, for water, wind, and fire on it.
Okay, interesting.
Based
Is
on what
Navi
you've
back?
covered so far.
It took me some time, to
give me,
Yeah, I just sauntered back in.
Oh, hold up. Give me a Constitution saving throw.
All right.
That's fair. That's a rat you ate.
Yeah, he's fine. He got it all out of. He threw up a little bit and got it all out of his system. It wasn't cooked thoroughly. I don't know why he thought a single fireball it flash fried it, but it didn't get all the way through. He was just eating raw rat meat. Terrible idea. So.
It's been bad.
It's been bad. So, but yeah, he gets back. He's his stomach was cramping a little bit, but he gets back and approaches the hole.
I think that was the chicken that he ate.
No, we may never know. It could be either. It could be anything.
Okay. So, each of these stones have different element on them, the rune of the element.
It's one stone, but it has multiple markings for elements.
Yeah, it's one stone, but it's got multiple markings. Yes.
Ulysses, what do you think about this?
Ulysses hasn't been. He's just been off on his away from the hole. He's not having any more of this digging bullshit.
Just making sure the horses aren't running off.
Pull the
basically.
rock out then, Ricky?
Not yet.
Okay.
I'm trying still to examine what to do about this.
Do you wanna? If you want, you can do an arcane or a history check.
I would prefer arcane.
I think that's probably more fitting
Know
anyways.
more about
Yeah.
it.
Well, it would be different types of information depending on what.
But
test.
I would go with arcane.
So you use your expertise and magical knowledge, despite the fact that you're a sorcerer and most of your talent is innate and wasn't really studied. You have studied quite a lot of magic in your time, and you can tell that these runes carvings into this piece of rock are definitely representative of different elements, and that this is clearly the object that you guys are looking for. Or if it's not the object you're looking for, it's a very confusing coincidence.
Extremely.
My question is, do I know how to activate it?
Do a real life intelligence check.
Give me another Arcana test here.
Okay.
Whew! That's a good one. You actually have read a little bit about this because you have been to the astral plane a few times, and while you were there, you've had.
That's the same astral plane that our buddy Navio just came back from, or a different one?
Yes,
Shit,
that would
all
be.
the
It
way.
would,
We
it,
got it.
it would be the same one though. Yes.
Okay.
So while you've spent some time in the astral plane, you've actually had a conversation with some various other astral projections from other various parts of the multiverse.
Those astral projections will get you every time.
About the different planes of existence.
Projectile astrals.
Because you've been to more than one plane, you kind of know that there are a few ways to get to the astral plane specifically, and that you assume that there are similar kinds of ways to get to other planes, which would be like depending on what the keystone actually is, or the planar portal actually is.
I come up and I suggest
spell or meditation. Cutting me off, Filthy.
It's just relevant.
So hard.
It's relevant. I say, Fezli, you just relax, take it slow, use a lot of lube. You'll be fine. You'll get there. And then I walk back away.
I knew it would be an ass joke.
It's not happening. Sorry, go ahead, Sui.
All right, so he
ignore
knows
him.
that there's generally like 5 different kinds of ways to activate a physical object that transfers you between planes, and can be based on the time that it is in the mortal realm. Like they just activate at specific times. They can activate due to a particular situation, like weather being sunny or rain, or there being like a goat sacrificed over it, or so on and so forth. They can be totally random and just do whatever they want whenever they want for no apparent reason. Some of them can open based on a certain command word that just activates it when you say a word to it. Or some of them can be activated with a key, and most of those, like, it would be clear if this specific planar portal was being activated with a key, because the example that you've seen for this specific type of way to get to the astral plane, there's like a very distinct, like, object that you would be pushing against the other object, and they would fit together. So, like, it would be clear that there was a missing piece to activate it, and you can't see anything like that on the surface that you've uncovered.
So, so other examples have like a need of a key, but this one does not, because there's no keyhole essentially.
Correct.
Okay, makes sense.
And at this specific time, and like it's raining, it's not acting, like it's not doing anything, right?
Yeah, is any water
Correct.
hitting it?
If it was active right now, when you touched it, you would have gone to the other plane. That's how it works.
Just asking.
So it's not like a buried stone arch under, like it's just like a stone that if you stand on it, you would move if it was active.
Yes.
Okay.
Or like if you like touched it with your hand, you would.
Gotcha. Okay. It's not like a stone arch that you have to like walk through the portal or anything.
Nope, this specific waygate is just like you touch it, you go through. Is how they
Gotcha.
work. There are some that are arches that are like sustainable portals, but most of the
Gotcha.
time in this
I
specific
will share this info. I will go up and the whole, and like I will share this information with others that this is most likely it, but I'm at the moment not sure how to activate it.
Do you describe
get it done.
the various runes carved on it to us and what they mean?
Are you asking me or him?
I'm asking him.
I don't.
Why you do this, Filthy? Why you do this?
I don't want him to recount them. I'm asking if he does that.
No.
I change a little bit, but Like, to be honest, I don't remember what exactly
So
was on
there
it.
was water,
There were
fire,
some-
earth, and what?
Water, fire, earth,
elements.
and wind.
Wire.
The-
So
four
we need,
base-
so
What,
we need
Did we
to
find the Earth? You found
keep
the
it
Earth?
wet, keep it warm, keep it moving, and blow on it. Those the
Okay,
four?
I
think we can
Keep
do
it
this.
moving.
okay.
Sex
I
joke?
want
The
to
earth, the
test-
tremors of the earth.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I think that's what you're
Well,
saying.
I think Goran can probably blow on it.
Okay. I want to test to cast
I
light.
have good lung capacity.
Yeah, I will go back down. I want to test something. I will cast light on my staff, and I want to like put it close to the stone if it acts anyhow.
There's no visible effect when you do that.
Effect on the light.
Based on Fesalu's knowledge, do we know that if it was activated, if we would be able to tell, okay, this is clearly activated now?
Yes.
Okay.
You would be able to tell. You will be able to tell when it is activated.
Short
yes.
of someone being ripped through time and space, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so it sounds like we just gotta try
We,
different weird shit until this turns on.
all right, I can make fire. I can make spark real quick. I can just like I'm making fire, but I'll do it for this. I'll just get sparks
Yeah,
on
like-
it. Maybe
I
we can
wanted
do.
to ask if somebody has torch for this to try.
Yeah, we could do toward, but I could sure. I mean, I can do
I
fire.
mean,
got
like
that.
light torch and like put it close to it or something.
Well, I
What
assume
it
it
will-
has to be all of these simultaneously. Otherwise,
Oh,
it
you
would have
mean at the
activated
same
from just
time.
random elements, right? You think it's a location? I don't know. This is your knowledge you're sharing with us. Are these locations on the stone that we can move to? Is this an earth plane, a fire plane, a water plane, or are these the four activating sources, elemental sources that are needed to trigger it?
I'm not sure. They are on this one stone. Are all these elements? Do I know in which order? Like, is there like order from top to down, or like how exactly are?
Is it just one per side?
They
Like
are all.
sides or-
They're all like. I'll assume that while this conversation is going, you're digging it like all the way out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you get it all the way out, like you heft the thing up out of this pit, you can see that all four of the symbols are represented on all of the sides of the rock face.
It is a four-sided rock, though.
Yeah, it's roughly rectangular in shape. Like it's not like pointed because of.
It's like a cube almost, like a flat cube.
It's kind of like a flat cube, yeah, like but with rounded corners rather than pointed ones.
Okay.
Okay, so I can't
Slightly
tell if
more
there is some
rectangular
order.
than cubish too. It's like a rectangular prism.
Okay, Ulisef cast Firebolt on it.
All right.
Does anything happen?
There's no
Oh,
visual,
fireball.
no visual impact.
Gentlemen,
Okay.
I hate to disrupt, but this is probably a really good time to cut the part. It's been over an hour.
Yeah,
Guys,
that
thank you
sounds
very much
good.
for watching. We're going to take a quick break here, and we'll see if we can figure out the mysteries of this stone,
Mr. the cube.
of the object after this. We'll see you guys shortly.